Probably wondering why we need to learn all those Linux commands. So it's going to help a lot when we start building out our project folder or navigate through a project directory. And this is what I mean. We are going to build our first data science environment that we're going to use for the projects in the future. Okay, so now if you're not, get back into the projects folder that we have created earlier. And again, you can use dir to list the directory, and mine lives in documents, then projects. So I'm just going to do cd documents/projects. And now I'm back in the projects folder. If you want to clear your terminal screen or your command prompt screen, on Windows, you can do cls, enter. And if you're on Mac or Linux, you can do clear. Anyways, so now here we're in projects folder, and I want to create my first data science project. So I'm going to do mkdir like we just did. And let's just call this DS, standing for data science. And now if we do dir, we can see that there is a DS project. And on the UI, if you click into it, now we have this DS folder. So everything we're going to be doing is going to live in this DS folder. So I'm going to cd into it. And from here, I'm going to create my data science environment using Conda. So first things first, let's do Conda info. And if you're not seeing this, then you need to go to my first video and download Conda. Okay, I'm going to clear the screen. And from here, I'm going to create the first virtual environment with all the data science packages we need. So that command is going to be conda create -- name. And let's give it a name. I'm going to call this data science. Actually, I'm going to do data _science because that looks better. You can name it whatever you want. And Python equal, let's just stick with 3.8 for now. So what that means is we're going to create a Conda environment called data science, and it's going to install Python version 3.8 for us. The reason I'm going with 3.8 is because, actually no particular reason, that's just the one I'm used to. So enter, and let it do its things. And when you see the screen, it's telling you what it's going to install. So it's going to install pip, Python, and all those. So all you have to do is yes. And while that is installing, I'm going to introduce you guys to a tool we'll be using called Jupyter Lab. And what is that? So we're going to Google it, because whenever you don't know what something is, always Google it first. So Jupyter Lab is basically a Jupyter notebook on steroid. It's great, and that's what we're going to be using to learn how to code in Python and do all the data science stuff. And to do that, go to install. On the install page, you'll see pip install Jupyter Lab. So we can just copy this and paste it into the command line after we activate the environment. But since we're using Conda and I want to stay consistent, and here you see that it's telling you to use the Conda Forge channel. So all you have to do is start a new tab and just do Conda install Jupyter Lab and installation Jupyter Lab. And you can just copy the first command, Conda install C Conda Forge Jupyter Lab. So it's basically using Conda to install, and it's changing to the Conda Forge channel. So let's copy that instead. And coming back to the command prompt, we'll see to activate this environment, Conda activate data science, and to deactivate, Conda deactivate. So from here, we want to activate the environment first. And once you see this data science on the left side, that means you have activated your environment. And we want to install Jupyter Lab into this environment, so we're just going to paste and enter. And I'll cut this out while it's installing because it's going to take a while. It's done. Okay, so from here, we can do, we can do Conda list. and it'll tell you everything that has just downloaded for you, and then you can see all the Jupyter stuff that it has completed in downloading. And now we're just lacking a few more packages that we need. We will need Numpy, Python, and scikit-learn. And what we're going to do is just going to do conda install Numpy, pandas, scikit-learn. Enter. And it's going to tell you all these packages will be downloaded for those packages that we want. And click yes. And just wait for it to finish. It's done. So what did we do? Let's do a quick recap. We basically built a Conda environment for our Python project, and we're using Python version 3.8. And we have just downloaded JupyterLab and the data science packages we need, which is Numpy, pandas, and sklearn. So now let me clear the screen, and let's just type in JupyterLab, enter. And once it enters, it will take you to this page on the file directory we're in. So here we'll list the file directory, which is the home directory. And our home directory is currently our DS directory. Basically, the last directory that we're in before we type in JupyterLab will be the file directory that we start here. So from here, we can just click this, Python 3, and it will start a new notebook for you. So what we're going to do is we're going to first rename the notebook and just call this Python. And you see that now this python.ipymb is in the file directory. And if we were to check the UI or the file explorer, in the DS directory, we see python.ipymb. Okay, and one last thing before we go, let's just do print, parentheses, quote, hello world. And once you type in that, you can shift enter, and it returns back hello world. Awesome, congrats. Now you have your Python environment set up, and let's start having fun with Python. See you next time. Bye.